Hello and welcome to another Tech Distractions video. In this one we're going to take a look at a project released in 2025 targeting PCs that are almost as old as the developer. 99Things. It's a simple little game where you look for things on a board and complete puzzles. Sounds simple, right? Well, depending on the puzzle, things can be rotated, mixed up, or coloured differently. Puzzles can also be as little as 16 squares in size, all the way up to a massive 396 squares spread over 4 game boards. This little game should run on just about any IBM PC or compatible as long as you have CGA graphics or better, and at least 256 kilobytes of memory. That's right, kilobytes, not megabytes. The entire game can run off a bootable 360 kilobyte floppy disk, and I've provided disk image along with a zip game version for those that don't want to use a boot disk. Source code is included too. I've released this on GitHub as public domain. It was a real challenge to get this working with such limits in both the hardware and the archaic procedure-based programming language, but it managed to fit just under the limbo bar. With QuickBasic, the more complex and compact your code, the more the interpreter will expand and unpack the functions in the compiled output. I had to strike a balance between getting the functionality in without overcomplicating things. This game is inspired by a fellow Aussie developer ClickTox mobile game from around 2010. Little things, and more directly, its single-screen sibling Doodle-Find. I used to spend hours playing these games while travelling on public transport, and I thought, wouldn't it be neat to make a retro-inspired game that gave a nod to these games I love? When starting for the first time, a settings menu will appear. You navigate with the keyboard, up, down, tab to switch between items. Then you can use space or enter to activate whatever you've got highlighted. The first thing we'll do is enable mouse support. For video, 99Things is designed to run on CGA 4 color mode. The game will try to detect what graphics card you've got at startup. Sound effects are primitive, just beeps and boops, but I've enabled them for PC Speaker and for AdLib sound cards. I would have loved to have had some music going along with it, but I found it a little too complicated to sort out for this release. There's a setting to disable high-intensity blanking on CGA displays. This is reserved for those using non-traditional scaler setups where blanking can cause some issues. Just about everybody else can ignore this. Finally, there's a low memory setting, and this is only for machines running less than 384 kilobytes of RAM. Kicking this will limit the game to a maximum of 2 boards when in 99Things mode. If CGA is detected, the default selection is for 6 palette mode. This enables us to use the black, cyan, red and white palettes that you see here. If playing on a composite TV, monochrome display, or the colours don't look right, you can use the CGA compatible setting which will stick to the standard 4. If EGA or higher is detected, this setting will be the default. The game still runs in CGA mode, but has the ability to individually set each of the 4 colours and match the same as the 6 palette real CGA modes. There's also an optional extra where you can choose a custom 4-color palette, and you can toggle this to be used within games. With 99Things, I wanted to demonstrate there was a bit more to 4-color CGA than just the standard black, cyan, magenta and white that everyone thinks of. By treating the selectable background color as a flexible 4th color, you can actually turn a limitation of 4 colors into something a little bit more creative. For this example, I'm using a quick game with clear things enabled, meaning when you find a thing, it disappears from the board. This is using CGA Palette 1 with high intensity, and a background color set to magenta. With different styles, it doesn't feel restricted by the 4 colors, and while the graphics aren't exactly amazing, it still looks pretty decent for CGA, in my opinion. To play for a high score record, the puzzle must be timed. Also, things don't clear in this mode. A little tick or cross appears when you select the thing to give you some feedback. At the end you'll get a summary with some stats and a chance to enter your name. At the other end of the difficulty spectrum is the 99Things mode. In this example, I've got clear things on to demonstrate how it persists while switching boards. We're looking for chef hats here, and all 15 can be spread out over the 4 boards, and they can be rotated, coloured, or styled differently to make it a little harder to find. Of course, clear mode is significantly more easier than going for a timed or no clear mode. I put some early releases up on Vogons, and much to my amazement, user S-Fry has not only played it, but completed a 4-puzzle board using the highest possible difficulty setting. It took them 2 hours and 14 minutes to complete. Some serious dedication there. Finally, there's custom mode, which lets you pick and choose board size and the amounts of things to find. This started out being a bit of a test mode, so I decided to keep it in there anyway. And there you have it, a little game for MS-DOS released in 2025 that can play on PC hardware from way back in 1982, or it can play on a newer PC with DOSBox or just a simple web browser. If you do end up playing it on actual retro hardware, I would absolutely love to see some pictures of your setup. Feel free to email me them, along with any feedback you have from the game. For now, I'll leave it there. Thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye for now.